Hi, No Ataxia Nation. It's me, Lauren Sormani, and I have some special guests with me today. First, I have Lori Sjogren from the National Ataxia Foundation. And second, I have Bridget Brennan from FARA, the Friedreich's Ataxia Research Alliance. So today we're going to be talking about something really cool. And today we're going to be talking about ataxia advocacy, our work on September 10th for our Hill Day, and what you can be doing from home. So first, Lori, can you tell us about what event is coming up to prepare for the Hill Day?
Absolutely. So this year on September 10th, we'll be partnering again with the Friedreich's Ataxia Research Alliance on our second Hill Day, and we'll be meeting with Republican senators from a variety of states trying to obtain a co-sponsor for a resolution that we're trying to get established that would declare September 25th as National Ataxia Awareness Day. As many of you know, September 25th has been recognized for several years as International Ataxia Awareness Day and is the day where we do a variety of advocacy efforts.
So in order to prepare for Hill Day, can you tell us a little bit about this webinar that's coming up that people can join?
Absolutely. On September 2nd, we'll be having a webinar on 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. And during that webinar, we'll talk about how you can get involved in not only the Hill Day advocacy efforts, but also advocacy efforts in general. We'll be talking about the resolution that we're trying to obtain for National Ataxia Awareness Day, and also other issues such as access to telehealth, home health care, and resources for important agencies like the FDA and NIH. And so I'd highly recommend, if you're interested in advocacy and getting involved in advocacy efforts, to attend this webinar.
Great, thanks, Lori. So we're going to do a little bit of a teaser for what's to come from the webinar that Bridget and I will be doing on the 2nd. So Bridget, one of the most important things about, or in order to prepare for meeting with your senator, is an elevator speech. Can you describe what an elevator speech is?
Sure. If you could think about the fact that most of these meetings happen fairly quickly and you have a lot of material you want to cover in a meeting, so it's good if you can think ahead. If you were to meet someone who doesn't know anything about ataxia at all, how would you describe what ataxia is? How would you describe what you go through in a daily schedule and how it's affected by ataxia, and do it briefly? So it's good to come up with kind of examples, and in this year when we're looking at specific asks, to think about how your life relates to those asks and be able to connect them in when you're telling your story.
Great. And a big part of continuing advocacy is the follow-up. So what are some things that people can do from home to stay in touch with their representatives?
So first, if we can take one step back when we're looking at the Hill Day, there is no right or wrong thing that you can do. It's really whatever your comfort level is, you should jump in and get involved. And so if you're really good at social media and that's a forum that you use a lot, then you can think of ways to do posts on social media that day. If you're really comfortable picking up the phone and talking to someone, then you can call your elected officials and ask them about the things that we're going to be meeting them about. And we'll go through all of that stuff on the training. But if you actually know your representatives, maybe you do events in your community with them, maybe you want to stop by their office or make an appointment for that day, whatever your comfort level is. But once you've made that initial outreach, then you want to make sure you keep the conversation going. If you think of advocacy as building a relationship as opposed to a one-time I'm going in to fight for a certain bill to be passed, it's a different perspective, right? So you're going in and starting a conversation about what is ataxia. And why is it important in our community? And why does the work that you're doing as a legislator directly affect me and my life? And so you start that conversation on the Hill Day or at like Rare Across America or Rare Disease Week. There's lots of opportunities to do that. But then you want to foster that relationship in growing and letting them know what's happening over the course of a year so that when they're considering budgetary concerns, like how much money the FDA and the NIH would have, they actually think, hey, I have a constituent with ataxia who's waiting on research, and I really should make sure that they're funded. So like we're making a connection there.
On September 10th, our Hill Day, if people want to post on social media, what are some things that they can post? Does it have to be a picture of them standing with their representative, or can it just be a picture of them with their recumbent bike? What are some things people can say or post?
That's great, Lauren. Yes, people can really have fun with it. So you can put a picture up of something you do in your daily life. It could show something to deal with ataxia, or like, you know, if you have a recumbent bicycle, for example, and that's how you exercise, great, that's a super picture to put up. It could be a picture if you've been in Washington. It doesn't have to be happening that day. Maybe you took a trip previously. You can put up a picture from that. You can print out a sign that we're going to have on our talk about in our webinar, and also that it's on both of our websites. And you can just take a picture of you holding the sign. I mean, really have fun with it. There's no right or wrong post. Whatever you want to do with it to raise awareness. And that, if you don't mind, I'd love to just say that's the most important thing we have when we're doing advocacy. If you think of the other diseases where people are very aware of the conditions, Alzheimer's, breast cancer, HIV, those are all driven by patient advocacy groups that raised awareness. And so if you are just posting pictures about ataxia, you're helping to raise awareness, which eventually will help raise dollars for funding for research. So there's no wrong thing to do. Have fun with it.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And we are using hashtags on September 10th, and they will appear on your screen with some sample posts here. So thank you both for being here today. And if you're interested in learning more about ataxia advocacy and what you can do and what we will be doing on Capitol Hill on September 10th, please register for the webinar. The information can be found at the NAF and FARA websites. It is on September 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thanks again. Bye.
Thanks so much, Lauren. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.